Hello everybody, and today, and that always opens up, we're gonna close it off, bam. Okay, today I want to talk about DLC for Garden Warfare 2. Now you might be like, whoa, the game hasn't even come out yet, what are you doing? This is just more speculation, and I also wanted to talk about what maps they should carry over. Because in a recent stream, they talked about how they're interested in bringing back old maps if we show that we are interested in them. Now, first of all, I'd also like to mention, for my channel, if you're excited for the game, I will do videos on the Garden Warfare 2. In fact, I played Garden Warfare 1 a lot. It's just, I'm kind of on the low of it now. I didn't really play when I was doing YouTube. So, I'll be doing videos on the next one. But I did play the first one a lot. I've just never done videos on them. So first of all, we're going to talk about the new maps. Well, that were in the old game that should come over to the new one. So these maps are for specifically all the really just PvP focused modes. Team Vanquish, Gnome Bomb, Vanquish Confirmed, Suburban Nation, Taco Bandits. So we're going to go over them one by one and say which ones. Well, personally, I think everyone should come over. All the maps should come over. A bigger map rotation is better. You know, it's just, you're not playing the same map all over again. But I'd like to stress, with any map you bring over, I do not want the same thing ported over, just with like an HD coat of paint. I would like them to tweak the maps a bit. I like, just add more, because when you see the new maps for the game, they look amazing in the new game. And all we got here is just kind of, I mean, they're good, but they're not anywhere near as good as in the next game. So I'd like them to go back and maybe add a little more to them. We'll go over them one by one. So first we have Garden Center, and it's an okay one. I think it's a good one. I think they should keep it. Well, I mean, obviously, I think they should keep it, but I wouldn't say, this one's not my favorite one, but I'm not saying it's a bad one. I'm just not so crazy about that one. This is a good one, too. I'd say this is probably one of my least favorite ones, though. Advertisement. No, we don't want an advertisement. Okay. Sharkbite Shores. I like this one. I think this is a cool map. You're on the shore. I think it's a good map. Keep it. We got Zomboss Estate. This is definitely a good map. This map, if they're going to port over only a couple of maps, this one needs to be on it. Because I think this is a really unique map with the whole mansion and just going around it. I think it'd be cool if in the game maybe they added you could go inside it now and you could fly inside. I think that'd be a pretty cool idea if they added onto that Chomp Town. That's another one like Garden Center. Like, I like the ones that could only be in Garden Warfare 2. I like Garden Center, Suburban Flats, Chomp Town. That could be in like any game. Zomboss Estate, it has enough PVZ in it that you could know, like PVZ. Port Scallywag, I like this one. I like the ship in the center that everybody fights in. I think it's a good map. Jewel Junction, I'd say, is probably arguably one of the most unique maps in the game, with the train going through the center, and I just love all the unique things about it. The little diamond place underneath. I think it's a good map, and that is probably the best one. And then Crush Course. Another one like Garden Center, nothing too amazing about it. So, overall, I think Zomboss Estate, Jewel Junction, and Port Scallywag would be my favorites, but everyone should be ported over. Now we're going to go Gardens and Graveyards, where you're capturing the gardens from the plants. So first, now every one of these have a night version, so there's officially only 4 maps here. But first we're going to have Driftwood Shores. So now overall, I think these maps are not so bad with all their places. They all kind of feel the same, except for the minigame at the end. This one you have to kill the sunflower, and I think it's a good one. I think it's a unique thing where you're defending it. Again, I don't think it's that bad. Now, none of these ones really stick out to me as like, oh, like that's awesome. I'd say, I think this one's nice at the end where you're trying to launch the kook, the tactical kook, instead of nuke. They're really good with puns. Walnut Hills, I'd say this is probably my favorite where you're defending the mansion at the end. I think this is probably my favorite out of all of them. I think it's just fun to try to not to get all 5 of them. I'd say it's probably one of the most balanced. Like, this one, it's really hard to win that one. Unless the team's falling apart. This one, I'd say that's pretty balanced. So I think it's easier for the zombies to win. This one, this is a pretty balanced one too. I like this. I like I have to shoot the golf bomb off the top. I think it's a good map. I'd say Cactus Canyon and Walnut Hills would probably be my favorite from the last ones. So there we go. We went over the maps. I told you my favorites. The ones that I think need to be ported over would only be Jewel Junction, Zomboss Estate, and Port Scallywag. Now, if they were like feeling generous, I think all of them should be ported over, but bring them all. They're all good maps. I just think the ones I've mentioned, like Jewel Junction, Zomboss Estate, and Port Scallywag are outstanding maps, and they're just, we need those. Now, back to DLC. So what do I think will be happening with this game for DLC? So I have over here on the wiki, another Wikipedia, several packs of free downloadable content were released. So first we have the Garden Variety Pack. Now my thought here is they're probably going to do around the same thing. I think there'll be more in the next game. Let's say this game's going to have more people. It's just a bigger game than the last one. I think the last one was kind of like, you know, we're not so sure if this is necessarily going to work. But, you know, I think this is a good idea. This game, you know, they know people like this. They're willing to add on a lot. It's going to be good. So we have the Garden Variety Pack. The introduction of a new mode. Now, new modes, they might add a couple of new modes to this game. For example, they've added where you're defending the places as zombies, you know, just switching roles. But I don't think they really need that many more modes in this game. I think if they come up with things, I think that'd be pretty good. I think Taco Bandits is kind of like Capture the Flag. Gnome Bomb is like defending points. You know, we have King of the Hill with Gardens and Graveyards. I don't know, we don't really need that many more modes in this game. We have PvP Deathmatch, which is just Vanquish, confirmed. I think we got everything. They add a new map. So you have one new map to the game, 3 new abilities for every character. I think, are already going to start off with a bunch of abilities for every character. They might add more, but they're going to already start off with a lot. And over 100 customizations were added. And a new spawnable with zombie pirates. Then we have Zomboss Down Pack. The introduction of a new map. And 8 new characters. And increased levels for everybody. So they're probably going to add more levels for you to prestige with characters in this game, I'd imagine. And new customization options. And 8 new characters. So that means already we have 1 new variation for every character. So the characters are the most important part, I think, to keep track of. Tactical Taco Party Pack. This one, a new map. Well, for all the ports of this game. It was only on PC before. New game mode. And 2 new characters sponsored by Aquafina, which was the Berry Blaster and the Citrus Cactus. Personally, these say they're not bringing those ones over. And I think they're right. But I think if they really wanted to, they could just bring them over and call them like the Blueberry Shooter now and the Orange Cactus. And they could do almost the same thing, just, you know, recolor it, make sure it's not like copyrighted by them anymore. You know, I just have the same concept where the Citrus Cactus shoots a burst of 3 out, and the Berry Shooter has a ton of splash. Just take that and reskin it a little. I think they could still add it. A new 8v8 playlist for mixed mode. 8 new special waves of 1 new challenge for Garden Ops. And 5 nerfs, blah blah blah, buffs. Okay, so what's important from here is we have a couple of new modes, 2 new characters. I don't know, nothing really important, because the sponsored characters, that doesn't count. They're in their own category. Suburban Nation, a new map, new game mode, new boss characters, and a new character. So we're looking at 1, Plasma P was not sponsored, so he is actually designed by a winner of a competition, the Cheetos Pack. That was another sponsored character, so these do not count. And then Legends of the Lawn. And 7 new character variants, and then AI consumables, and a new game mode, and just new everything. So we're looking at 2 new variations for every class in this game came out as free DLC. So my thought is, at least we're going to be looking at 2 new variants for every character to come out for this game. Who knows what they'll do, but I think they're going to try to do at least the same amount. So we're looking at right now, let's see, we got 8, so 16 in this game. Add on the 6 characters on this game. We're looking at, we got, hold on a second, we got 7, we got 14 classes in this game if I'm doing my math right. Times 2, we got 28 variations at least being added to this game. So that'll be great. I mean, who knows, they might do this, but just speculating, that's what we can look at. And they added around like 3 or 4 new maps. So I'd say we can expect 3 or 4 new maps and around 28 plus new characters. And then with the new game modes, I do not count those. I think they have a lot of good game modes. Maybe you can expect 1 or 2, but I think we're pretty much at the max for game modes. And sponsored characters, they could bring them back as their own characters now, like just change them. But that's about it for the game. So there we go. We talked about the maps, we talked about the speculation for DLC. So again, maps, what do you need? Zomboss Estate, Port Scallywag, Jewel Junction. The rest of them are all great. Port them over if you can. DLC, 28 new characters, I think will be added in 3 to 4 maps. That's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you agree in the comments. And who knows, we need to tell EA how we feel about these maps, because they say they'll add them if we're interested. So we need to let them know that we're interested.